And who else did you meet with at the Globe Theater?
It was Amie and her friend Rebecca.
Had you met Rebecca prior to that day?
That was my first time meeting her.
Were they already there when you arrived?
Yes.
Did you take any pictures while you were at the Globe Theater?
We did.
You know what? I'm going to show you a photograph that was previously marked. As People's 12A. Do you recognize this photograph, Ms. Rollins?
Yes.
Could you please identify who's in the photograph?
Amie's on the left in the light pink dress and the leather jacket. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
Just put your hand over
I know her as Miss Tosh, to the right of Amie, who is a producer for the event. And that's me with dark hair. And then to the right of me is Rebecca, who I had met that night.
And so the record reflects you were identifying individuals from the photograph as I was pointing to them with my finger. Is that correct?
Yes.
And this is a photograph that you had taken at the Globe Theater when you met with Amie and company.
Yes, that's a photo that we took together.
Now, did you guys have any plans about your outfits for the evening?
We didn't discuss anything, but it was Valentine's Day. So
Now, do you recall any accessories that Amie was wearing that evening?
it looks like she has maybe 2 rosaries on.
I'm zooming into the photograph of 12A and I'm pointing to some necklaces that Amie is wearing. Are those necklaces that you recall her wearing on that day, those 2 rosaries?
I didn't notice them that evening, but I can see that she's wearing them.
Now, do you recall about what time you left the Globe Theater after the burlesque show?
I don't recall at this exact moment.
Okay. It was 9:15-ish, sound about right?
Yes.
Did you go anywhere else after the burlesque show?
We did.
And where did you guys go?
We went to Rebecca's place of work nearby, and then we also went to the Nomad Hotel to have dinner. Or appetizers, I guess.
And while you were at the Nomad, did you take any photos there?
We did.
Now, at this time, Your Honor, the people are holding a photograph depicting Amie Harwick and the witness made out marked as People's 52.
Yes, Mark.
I'm showing you what's been marked as People's 52. Do you recognize that photograph?
I do.
Can you identify who's in the photograph?
Amie on the left, and myself on the right.
And this is a photograph that you took with Amie while at the Nomad that evening?
We took it together, yes.
Now, Following your appetizers and hanging out at the Nomad, do you know about what time you left?
I'm sorry, I don't recall the exact time right now.
Now, do you know about, let's say, around midnight? Does that sound about right?
I think so.
Do you know where you went after the Nomad?
I went to my cousin's house in Echo Park. That's where I had left my car, and then I had Ubered to the Globe, so I went to go pick up my car from my cousin's house.
So from the Nomad Theater, you took an Uber to Echo Park,
Yes.
where your car was parked,
Yes.
and then you drove home.
Yes.
About how long would you say it took you to get from Echo Park to your house?
I don't recall right now. Probably 35 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
But once I was driving in my car.
Did you and Amie communicate in any way after you parted ways at the Nomad?
No.
Did you receive any communication from her that evening?
Yeah, I checked my phone and I had one text message from Amie. That was once I got home, so 45 minutes later when it was received or so.
This time I'm holding 2 pages of text messages made out be marked collectively as people's 53A and B.
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 53A. Do you recognize these series of text messages?
I do.
And how do you recognize these text messages?
The blue ones, or all of the ones with the timestamp, are coming from my phone. I'm texting Amie. I have 80 unread texts, and she sent me a message at 1:02 a.m. asking, or telling me, send me the pics on the green couch.
So let me just break it down a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about a text message in blue that I'm pointing to with my pen. Is that a text message that you sent to Amie?
Yes.
Now, there are text messages that have white writing with no kind of a blackish background. Are those text messages from Amie to you?
Yes.
I'm pointing to one text message where it says, send me the pics on the green couch, marked at 1:02 a.m. Is that a text message that you received on February 15th after your Valentine's Day gathering at the Nomad from Amie?
Yes.
And I'm pointing to a photograph that we looked at earlier. Is this your response to Amie?
Yes.
And what time did you respond to her text message?
I started sending her photos at 2:05 a.m.
Now I'm showing you what's been marked as people's 53B, which appears to be just a zoomed in version of those text messages. Is that correct?
Yes.
So again, you receive a text message from Amie at 1:02 and you respond with a photograph at 2:05.
Yes.
When was the last time you spoke to Amie?
Verbally?
Yes. Or in any way, in any form.
Oh, it seems like at 1:02 a.m. was the last time she contacted me.
So is this the last communication that you received from Amie? Was at 1:02 a.m. on February 15th?
Yes.
Thank you, nothing further.